10 terrifying laws in North Korea. You won't believe number 7. Ever wondered what life is like under one of the world's most secretive regimes? Stay tuned to find out the shocking truth about North Korea's terrifying laws. In this video, we're taking you deep inside the hidden world of North Korea, a nation often called the Hermit Kingdom, to uncover the bizarre and often terrifying laws that dictate the lives of its citizens. Get ready to be shocked, because some of these laws are unlike anything you've ever heard before. Our journey into North Korea's legal landscape begins with something seemingly simple: clothing. In many parts of the world, fashion is a form of self-expression, a way to showcase individuality, but in North Korea, clothing choices are anything but free. Imagine a world where you couldn't wear your favorite pair of jeans or that bright sundress you love. In North Korea, that's a reality. The government dictates what citizens can and cannot wear, with strict dress codes enforced for both men and women. Military green and other modest colors dominate the streets, a stark contrast to the vibrant hues seen in fashion capitals around the world. Jeans, considered a symbol of Western culture, are strictly forbidden, and women can forget about donning short skirts. These regulations are meticulously enforced, with authorities on the lookout for anyone daring to challenge the rigid sartorial norms. For those living under North Korea's watchful eye, clothing becomes less about personal style and more about conformity and control. The government's grip on fashion extends beyond everyday attire. Hairstyles are also closely monitored, with a limited number of approved cuts for both men and women. Think about that for a moment. Even your haircut is a decision made, not by you, but by the state. This level of control over personal appearance might seem unfathomable to many, but it's a stark reality for the people of North Korea. It's a constant reminder that in this tightly controlled nation, individuality takes a back seat to conformity. As we delve deeper into North Korea's legal system, we'll uncover even more startling restrictions that govern the lives of its citizens. Stay tuned, because the most shocking revelations are yet to come. Love and relationships are universal experiences, but in North Korea, even matters of the heart are subject to strict government control. Imagine a world where a simple act of holding hands in public could land you in trouble. In North Korea, that's the reality for young couples. Curfews are strictly enforced, dictating when citizens must be off the streets. This means no late-night strolls with your sweetheart, no spontaneous gatherings with friends. The government's watchful eye extends even further, reaching into the very core of personal relationships. Intimate actions that most of us take for granted, like holding hands or even living together before marriage, are strictly forbidden without explicit permission from the authorities. Marriage itself is often an arranged affair, with parents playing a significant role in choosing their children's spouses. The concept of romantic love, so celebrated in music, movies, and literature worldwide, takes on a very different meaning in North Korea. Spontaneity is replaced with control, and personal choice is overshadowed by government mandates. Imagine having to ask permission to express affection to the person you care about. This level of intrusion into personal lives might seem unimaginable, but it's a stark reality for those living under North Korea's rule. The government's justification for these restrictions often centers around maintaining social order and preserving traditional values. However, for many outsiders, these laws represent an alarming infringement on personal freedoms that most of us hold dear. As we continue our exploration of North Korea's legal system, we'll uncover even more examples of how the government exerts control over every aspect of its citizens' lives. Stay tuned to discover the shocking truth about internet censorship, travel restrictions, and much more. In today's hyper-connected world, access to the internet is often seen as a basic human right. But in North Korea, the internet as we know it simply doesn't exist for the vast majority of citizens. Imagine checking into your hotel room after a long journey, only to discover that there's no Wi-Fi, no way to connect with loved ones back home, and no access to the vast repository of information that is the internet. That's the reality for visitors to North Korea. While a highly restricted intranet system exists for a select few, ordinary citizens are completely cut off from the global online community. Even international calls are prohibitively expensive, making communication with the outside world a rare and costly endeavor. This digital isolation is a deliberate tactic employed by the North Korean government to control the flow of information and prevent outside influences from reaching its citizens. Imagine living in a world where news, social media, and even simple online entertainment are completely inaccessible. The government's tight grip on communication extends beyond the internet. Foreign tourists are often required to use the local network, which is closely monitored, limiting their ability to communicate freely with the outside world. Every email, every phone call, every text message is subject to scrutiny. This level of censorship might seem unfathomable to those of us accustomed to the free flow of information, but it's a stark reality for the people of North Korea. It's a reminder of the power of information, and the lengths to which some regimes will go to suppress it. As we journey further into the heart of North Korea's legal system, we'll uncover even more startling examples of government control, from restrictions on travel and tourism to the chilling consequences of challenging the state. Imagine a world where your clothing isn't just regulated but also serves as a constant reminder of the government's authority. In North Korea, this is the reality, thanks to the mandatory badge system. Every citizen, from school children to senior party officials, is required to wear a specific badge featuring the likeness of the nation's leaders, workplace emblems, or party symbols. These badges are not mere accessories, they are powerful symbols of loyalty and conformity. Imagine the pressure of knowing that a simple oversight like forgetting to wear your badge or accidentally damaging it could result in a fine or even arrest. In North Korea, these badges are taken very seriously. The badges serve as a constant visual reminder of the government's presence in everyday life. They are a tool of surveillance, making it easy to identify those who might be out of line. For those living under North Korea's watchful eye, these badges become an inescapable part of their identity. The government's justification for this system often centers around promoting national unity and respect for the country's leadership. However, for many outsiders, the mandatory badge system is a chilling example of the lengths to which the North Korean government goes to enforce conformity and suppress individuality. In many societies, laws regarding prostitution are complex and often debated. However, in North Korea, the stance on prostitution is clear-cut and the penalties are severe. Prostitution and soliciting are considered serious offenses against the state's morality, potentially leading to a death sentence. This uncompromising stance reflects the government's desire to project an image of moral purity and social order. But the strict laws regarding intimacy extend far beyond prostitution. Even public displays of affection between unmarried couples, such as holding hands or hugging, are strictly prohibited. These actions, seen as commonplace in many parts of the world, are viewed as a threat to North Korea's social fabric. Imagine living in a society where a simple act of affection could land you in serious trouble. This level of social control might seem unfathomable to many, but it's a stark reality for those living under North Korea's rule. For many, the opportunity to travel to new and exotic destinations is an exciting prospect. However, tourism in North Korea is a carefully controlled affair, offering visitors a highly curated glimpse into this reclusive nation. Forget about backpacking through the countryside or striking up conversations with locals in bustling markets. Tourists to North Korea must adhere to strict rules, traveling in designated tour groups and accompanied at all times by government-assigned guides. Imagine having your every move monitored, your itinerary pre-approved, and your interactions with locals carefully orchestrated. That's the reality for tourists venturing into the Hermit Kingdom. Foreign tourists are generally prohibited from interacting with ordinary North Korean citizens, limiting their exposure to the realities of daily life outside the carefully constructed tourist bubble. Even shopping trips are restricted to designated stores, ensuring that visitors are only exposed to approved goods and services. Despite the restrictions, tourism to North Korea continues to intrigue travelers from around the globe, offering a rare glimpse into one of the world's most secretive societies. But as we'll see coming up, the reality for those living under North Korea's rule is far more complex than the carefully curated experiences offered to tourists. Imagine checking into a luxurious hotel only to discover that certain floors are strictly off-limits, shrouded in an air of mystery and intrigue. In North Korea, this isn't the stuff of spy novels, it's a strange reality, particularly for foreign visitors. Take, for instance, the Yanggakdo International Hotel in Pyongyang, a towering landmark on an island in the Taedong River. While the hotel boasts numerous amenities and offers panoramic views of the city, the fifth floor remains shrouded in an enigma. This floor is entirely off-limits to guests, with no clear explanation provided by staff. Rumors swirl among tourists about the true nature of the fifth floor. Some speculate that it houses surveillance equipment, monitoring guests' every move. Others believe it's reserved for high-ranking government officials or foreign dignitaries. Whatever its purpose, the fifth floor serves as a potent symbol of the secrecy and control that permeates North Korean society. This is just one example of the many restrictions placed on tourists in North Korea. From limitations on photography and internet access to the carefully curated itineraries, every aspect of a visitor's experience is designed to control their perceptions of the country. While the government's intention may be to present a positive image of North Korea to the outside world, these restrictions often have the opposite effect, fueling curiosity and raising further questions about what truly lies behind the facade. In many countries, the legal system is designed to balance justice with rehabilitation. However, in North Korea, the focus shifts dramatically towards punishment and deterrence, particularly for offenses deemed to threaten public security or challenge the authority of the state. Crimes such as soliciting, engaging in religious activities deemed subversive, or even possessing unauthorized media like foreign films or music can result in draconian punishments, including decades of imprisonment, forced labor in remote prison camps, and relentless moral condemnation from society. Imagine living in a society where a simple act of watching a Hollywood movie or listening to a Western song could land you in a labor camp for years, if not decades. This is the stark reality for those living under North Korea's oppressive legal system. The government's justification for these harsh punishments often centers around safeguarding its citizens from what it perceives as corrupting influences and maintaining social order. However, for many human rights organizations and international observers, these punishments constitute cruel and unusual treatment, a blatant violation of fundamental human rights. The fear of such severe repercussions permeates North Korean society, creating an atmosphere of self-censorship and conformity. People are hesitant to speak their minds, express dissenting opinions, or engage in any activity that could be construed as challenging the authority of the state. In many cities around the world, nightlife is a vibrant tapestry of music, laughter, and social connection. But in North Korea, as darkness descends, the streets take on a different ambiance, one marked by caution, control, and the ever-present gaze of the state. Unlike the neon-drenched streets of Tokyo or New York City, nightlife in Pyongyang is a subdued affair. While a few state-sanctioned restaurants and bars cater to tourists and the elite, for the average citizen, options for after-hours entertainment are severely limited. Government inspections are frequent, cracking down on any unauthorized gatherings or activities deemed suspicious. The fear of being caught in a compromising situation, particularly for unmarried men and women, casts a long shadow over social interactions. Imagine a world where simply being seen with a person of the opposite sex after dark could lead to accusations of prostitution or other moral offenses. This level of suspicion and social control might seem unimaginable to many, but it's a stark reality for those living under North Korea's rule. As a result, social gatherings are often limited to close-knit groups of family or trusted friends. Interactions with strangers are approached with caution, and the concept of spontaneous fun takes on a very different meaning. As our journey through North Korea's legal system comes to a close, we're left with a sense of both fascination and unease. It's a country of stark contrasts, where technological advancements coexist with archaic laws, and where a deep sense of national pride is often overshadowed by the realities of a tightly controlled society. While the North Korean government argues that these laws are essential for maintaining social order, protecting national security, and preserving traditional values, they come at a high cost. The suppression of individual freedoms, the stifling of creativity, and the perpetuation of fear and self-censorship. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Curious World for more intriguing content. What do you think is the most shocking law? Let us know in the comments below. Stay curious, and see you in the next video.